Welcome back. It's League on Lock. Eric and Mark here, and it's time for everybody's favorite segment except for Mark's. We're talking toss-up, D or F. We're going to give a couple options. Mark and I are going to give our answers, and they're probably going to be completely incorrect. First one, who returns to the LCS first, Rekkles or Sneaky? Both sitting on bench duty right now.
Yeah, well, Eric, before we get to that, it's F for Flash. Let's get that right.
Right, we have to say this every time, and then I say D, you know.
Making sure that everyone knows that if you're a pro, it's F for Flash. But who's going to be making it back onto the roster first? It's, for me, I'm going to have to say it's Rekkles. I've been thinking for the longest time that Sneaky's going to have to be back. There's no way we'd get to week 5, week 6 of the LCS and Sneaky's still not playing. I'm thinking that might be more of a reality now, watching that there has been no change really in that type of regard on C9, and the rest of the players have made their way back into the starting lineup. So I do have some concerns there. And I think that Rekkles, as you're saying, yes, it's a self-imposed, kind of retreat here to the back on the bench here on this roster, having Bwipo play in the bot lane because he's doing better on these champions. I think, though, after this Rift Rivals and seeing some of the success of the AD carries in North America and as well in the LPL, I think we might see Rekkles maybe be a little bit more bold and say, I need to step back in here with traditional marksmen. So I think that he is a more likely chance to return than Sneaky. And
Rekkles has also now said he's practicing non-traditional AD carries, the Vladimirs and the Swains of the bottom lane. I don't think Sneaky's the fix for C9 maybe, and they seem to be riding with what they're going with, and they've opened leads. It's just delivering on them, so I agree. It's probably going to be Rekkles. Next one, what does Huni finish with more of, deaths or kills? Right now, he's got 26 deaths, 21 kills. So right now, deaths in a favorable matchup, and he had 24, I think, at Rift Rivals alone. We're not counting those. This is just strictly LCS, but deaths or kills?
Well, I'm telling you right now, with my big North America brain right now working overtime,
pretty small.
I'm going to tell you that I want to say with my big North America brain that it's going to be deaths, but it's going to have to be kills for me. I'm going with Huni. I believe that he's going to find a way to be that absolute talent and carry that we know him to be, picking up those kills. It might be close. It might be a very close one here again, but I'm saying that it's going to be the kills for Huni.
Oh, it's going to be close for sure. He's already at a bit of a deficit. I'm going with deaths. I think he keeps playing a little too over-aggressive. He's going to finish with more deaths than kills.
See, that's where my brain tells me it's going to be deaths. But my heart for Huni is telling me
Never
it's
listen
kills.
To your brain, kids. Always go with the heart. Who's going to grab that final playoff spot in the LCK? SKT. With KT losing to Hanwha now, it comes down to KT or Hanwha. You got to assume the top 4 is kind of set. So who's grabbing that 5th spot? I know you believe in SKT, right?
Yeah, well,
got the faith?
First of all, Hanwha eSports, they're doing pretty good, and they're definitely showing a lot of signs of improvement here, and I think that they could put up a good fight here to try and secure one of those playoff spots. And then KT Rolster, of course, we've talked about their form in the past at the beginning of Summer Split, looking very strong, and then now in a bit of a slump. I think they'll find it again to try and make that push back. But again, it's KT Rolster, so I'm not going to get excited. I'm not going to jinx anything. So I will stick with my fandom. It's SKT. My boys, Faker, will find a way to do it. They're going to make playoffs.
KT's making playoffs, but they're not going to go to Worlds. Who is the favorite for Worlds 2018, China or Korea? Usually this is blasphemy, but right now, might be leaning towards China.
Yeah, this has been crazy even a year ago. Even to say before MSI, this might be a little bit too much. But I'm going to go with the hot hand here and say the LPL. China should be the favorites heading into Worlds right now. They've shown there's been enough development in the region. They have strong teams here that they're able to take on and outsmart the Koreans in these matchups. I have to pick the LPL.
It's a wild world we're living in. Last one is a juicy one. Who is a bigger international disappointment, Kingzone or TSM?
Because Kingzone, boy, have they ever been a disappointment, especially
They've come in as favorites.
Absolutely, and especially from the historic precedence that the LCK has set for us as a dominating region. Would expect that internationally from Kingzone, and absolutely they have choked. But when you're talking about international chokers, I don't know if there's a bigger one than Team Solo Mid. You're talking about here, Kingzone, yeah, they're choking for sure, but hey, they're choking against Samsung after the group stage here. So we're talking about TSM, a team that should always, always at the top of their game, and especially given how you see them play, should be making it out of groups. They're not. They're the biggest chokers for sure.
But Kingzone is coming into these events as favorites to win the whole event. TSM, they're like, you guys should probably get out of groups, big favorites for that. You don't actually have expectations for North America. Korea, you expect them to win?
Hey, I'm saying if you want to talk about choking, you can't look any further than group stage last year. TSM, that is absolutely a bigger choke job than even Longzhu getting swept in that final. Semifinal.
Well, that's a fair point, but that's all the time today for League on Lock. Eric and Mark here. Thank you guys very much for watching.